is 68 days since I was informed by Covenant Hills Campground that I was taken off the payroll. With much surprise to me after working 32 hours and not getting paid. So what has transpired since then? What did I do? What did I not do? Hope you'll join me. Linda here, Serene and Simple Life. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for all your love and support and care. All your comments, your thumbs up, your genuine concern about what happened at Covenant Hills Campground with my not getting paid. I did a video on that. It's been, almost, 2 months, a little over 2 months since I did that video, since I took off from the campground. And I want to share with you an update today. Lots of randoms, things I learned. And yesterday while I was at work on my break, some thoughts started flooding into my brain. I think that's the Lord. He's like, these are the things I'd like you to say. This is what I want you to prepare. And so I wrote things down on 2 paper towels. And then this AM, I'm off work, and I composed this video to share with you. I put together a lot of notes here in an organized format. So I'm going to be looking down on occasion because this bunny likes to take bunny trails. Yes, the babbling brook. Anyways, I absolutely understand the reasons that many of you commented on about taking action. You know, mainly for others' sake and the injustice. Now, I'm not going to go over and reiterate in detail because there is a video out there now about what happened at Covenant Hills. And I'd like you to go back and watch that so you can be brought up to speed. The bottom line is, like I said in my intro, I worked 32 hours and then found out I was taken off the payroll and I didn't get paid. Doesn't sound right, does it? Anyways, I do have to add to that I've come to find that seasonal work camping jobs have different sets of rules with the state, with the laws, with work labor, whatever it is, than regular full-time jobs. For instance, I am here in a new place now, which you have to stay tuned, working, and I'm working over my 40 hours, but I'm not getting overtime pay. They don't have to pay me overtime because it's a seasonal job. It is a written-in law that if you work overtime and it's in the contract, you're not going to get paid overtime, but you're welcome to work over. So that was something I had to consider. But anyways, that is a bunny trail. But I do understand where so many of you were coming from, you know, to take action. And I wrote some things down about myself that I am normally one who feels like I need to rush in and fix things. Whether it's relationships, whether it's things, you know, that happen in my life personally. It's just like, okay, what can I do to fix this? What can I do to change this? What can I do to have a good outcome for myself? And I do that without giving prayer and time, a thought, or a chance. God doesn't work in my timing. He works in His timing. Oh my gosh, what a journey it's been learning that lesson. Anyways, remember I said that Covenant Hills was a time of growth for me in the last video, both last year and this year. And I truly believe this was one of those growth times for me. To slow up, trust God. And also, I have been led with my emotions. Do any of you lead with your emotions? You react rather than respond. You know, knee-jerk reaction type thing. Well, I have often done that, and it's not worked out very well, unfortunately. If I just would slow up. So, with that said, I kept feeling a nudge from the Lord to give it some time. Even when I was reading your comments, I didn't feel like, oh yes, I do have to do that. 80 people have told me I need to reach out to the labor board so that this doesn't happen to anybody else. And so I need to act on that, and I need to do that, and I need to do the right thing and the just thing. I'm all in for that. But I was hearing from the Lord to give it some time. Keep watching. So there was a couple things that resonated with me, a couple comments that I'd like to read that really, they resonated, they validated, you know, there was a lot of comments actually, but two that stood out. Okay, so let me see. Okay, Cindy writes, Linda, you handled this in a way that would please the Lord no matter what the future holds at the end of this drive. You left with no anger, but looking to the Lord to open a door before you. The word God has given is passing through. Passing through the broken up gate, Micah. Passing through, and she puts that in parentheses, the stoning crowd, Luke. Passing through the wall of waves, Hebrews 2. Or Hebrews 11, I'm sorry. By faith they passed through, not on one side, avoiding the place of difficulty, but through. Lilius Trotter. And she wrote, you already are a victor. Thank you, Cindy. I'm not reading these to get validation that I am misright here. I'm sharing this that it was validation of my thoughts of giving this some time. And then Rebecca writes within her comment, sometimes God wants us to confront things and sometimes He doesn't. We all need to pray for that man. Back to prayer, right? And then I also want to acknowledge the person, and I don't have your name in front of me right now, that wrote the letter to Mark on my behalf. Someone shared that they got his email and sent a letter. So thank you so much for doing that. It was a beautiful letter. All right. So like I told you, that I had received the news that I was off the payroll. I don't want to miss anything on my notes. Yeah, that I was off the payroll on Thursday, May 16th, and I left on Saturday, May 18th. And so 68 days later, I heard from Mark. And I want to also mention to you, early on, I seriously debated about writing the board, seeing how I could recoup this money. I contacted somebody, a friend at Covenant Hills, and she was going to send me the email to write to the board, and she never did, and that was another sign, no, you don't need that email, you don't need to write to the board. So here we go, guys. Only 10 minutes in and you're going to get the news now. And then please continue watching with some great follow-up takeaways and a bottom line. Please continue to watch. Subject, my apologies. This came in Monday night about 10:15 p.m. Guess he keeps late hours. Dear Linda, your recent video has identified concerns regarding your recent stay at Covenant Hills. Our management team updated the work camper agreement in early spring, but a failure to appropriately communicate with you before and during your stay is now apparent. It make me want to cry. I had no idea what I was going to read from him. I thought I was going to get a scolding maybe for putting the video up. Based on this, we will forego the requirements of the 2024 work camper agreement and pay you for the full 32 hours at $10.33 per hour on the next payroll, July 30th, 2024. I apologize for this unfortunate misunderstanding and wish you all the best for the rest of your summer in Michigan's. Blessings. Mark McClanagan, Executive Director. Wow. Wow. So I pinned a comment early the next day. I just heard from the director at the campground. I hope you saw this in the comments, those of you who read. I'm working a lot, though we'll make time to post an updated video of this unfortunate incident very soon. Please, no more negative comments about my situation or the campground or what I should do. I appreciate your love, support, and concern more than you know. So I wrote back to Mark on Tuesday. I didn't really want to say much. I just wanted to respond. So I responded with, thank you. You know, sometimes thank you can be a million words in itself. And I have been one in the past to need to explain myself. Don't need to explain myself. I tell you, growth is painful, but when you get on the other side, growth feels really, really good. Okay, so back to my notes here. Some takeaways for me, and maybe you. Had I jumped in to take action, this outcome may have been way different. Think about it. Putting someone on the defensive, them unexpectedly getting a call and fines, or I don't know, whatever they do, you know, months later, who knows. And then in the meantime, the executive director's letter comes in and I've already filed a complaint, and then he gets that, and you know, a mess. Messy when we take things into our own hands, right? I'm not saying always. I'm not saying that this is a rule of thumb when injustice has been served. I'm saying in my particular situation, I go back to prayer and give it some time. Keep repeating myself, right? Don't react immediately to your circumstances, your situation, your hurts, and your frustrations. Kind of just said that in a different way. I have a tendency to over-explain myself. Maybe they'll understand if I change the words, right? The English language, 5 million words for one meaning. And be obedient to the Holy Spirit, and God will bless you. Now I look forward to receiving this pay, and I'm trusting God on this too. Simply, God's got this. God's got this. Lessons learned. Get everything in writing beforehand. A few of you commented that way. Get it in writing. I had my application signed. I had the W-4. I think I had said W-9. I get those confused. And I had given them all my bank information. But did I have in signature, you will have to work 22 hours a week? No, not at all. So that's where you have to pay attention. And I felt like putting the video out was giving people enough information to do their due diligence, right? Okay, and the bottom line is I gave Covenant Hills Campground, specifically the executive director, a chance to make it right out of a wrong, and they did. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, management team. They took responsibility for their actions, and I believe this won't ever happen again. This wasn't some underhanded, let's cheat Linda. It was never that. It was never like, oh, we're gonna have her come and work and we're not gonna pay her. It was never that. Would I, of course, like to hear from them or him sooner? Of course. But we forgive as we've been forgiven, and we move forward. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. I don't need to say, well, thanks for letting me know now, after I put the video out and had to live for weeks and weeks wondering what you were going to do. That's not necessary. I'm speaking to me, growth. So, I want to highlight that I would not discourage anyone from camping there. It is a lovely campground with lots of amenities. It's a small church. There's a big building with games and fun things to do on rainy days. There's a treats and treasure shop. You can go back and watch all the videos that I did last summer. Beautiful dining hall, places to walk, trails, new friendships, camaraderie. I would not have gone back a second year if I had thought differently. So please, make your own decisions based on where you're at, where you'd like to camp, your finances, everything. And in closing, my gratitude is to you, my loyal followers, all the new subscribers, and everyone who just occasionally tunes in. Thank you. I need you, and I appreciate you. And I want to thank God, who has provided way more than I could have imagined in a new summer home and work experience. Right now, I'm sitting in Happy Haven, where I'm living for the summer. Outside my vehicle, more to come. And behind me is Lake Huron, picnic tables. I was going to do the video out there, but it's a little windy and they've got like a noisy generator or something or other out there. People coming and going. So I came back to where I originally started this, right? This news, back to Happy Haven. And of course, you're all going to have to subscribe, please. Click the bell. And as Bob Wells likes to say, and I love the way he says it, give this one a thumbs up if you think this was worthwhile, and we'll see you in the next video. And in the meantime, I like to end my videos with blessings in your day and joy in your journey, however that looks for you. I love you guys. See you in the next one.